It's so bright in here. I slept like a rock. That must mean it's Dad's turn to cook this morning. I wonder if that means Joshua's still in bed. I guess that's a no. Well, I guess I'd better get myself ready then too. Nice, Joshua! Bravo! Good morning, Estelle. Hope I didn't wake you. Nah, I was already up when I heard you start to play. I can't believe how awake you are, though. Even the roosters still have bags under their eyes. Not that I mind, what with that siren song of yours gently lulling this beautiful woman from her slumber. What do you mean, woman? We're the same age, and I'm hardly a man. How wrong you are, Joshua. We may be the same age, but I'm clearly the woman in the house. And that makes you something like my loyal follower, wouldn't you agree? Yeah, how fortunate for you. You can at least try to sound a tiny bit sincere. It really is a nice tune though, cheerful, it's somehow wistful. I like your other songs too, of course, but this one's my favorite. What's it called again? The Whereabouts of Light. That's right, The Whereabouts of Light. I wish I could play the harmonica like you do, Joshua. Sadly, it's a lot harder than it looks. Compared to what it takes to use a staff, I think the harmonica is much easier. It's really just a matter of concentration. You're probably right. I guess my problem is just that if I don't do something that uses my whole body, I start to feel drowsy. Okay, playing the harmonica is fine and all, but how about getting some exercise too? All your hobbies are sitting around kind of stuff like reading and music. No girl is gonna be impressed with just that. Well, excuse me for being so unpopular with the ladies. Although I feel like I should be the one lecturing you about your hobbies. I mean, what kind of boy wants a girl who loves fishing, collecting bugs, and has a fetish for sports shoes? That's enough talk about hobbies for now. And for your information, I graduated from bug collecting a long time ago. Really? I'll believe that when I stop finding beetles in the hallway. Hey, Estelle, Joshua. Morning, Dad. Good morning, Dad. Is breakfast ready? It's ready and waiting. Why don't the both of you just hurry on down before it gets cold? Okay, I'm on my way. Thanks for the grab, Dad. Boy, am I stuffed. Are you eating or inhaling, Estelle? Like people say, kids who eat and sleep a lot grow a lot. I'll make sure you get enough to eat, but don't forget to pour that energy into your work too. That reminds me, you two are finishing up your training at the guild today, aren't you? That's right, it'll be a review of everything we've learned up to this point. And once we're finished, we'll be bracers just like you, Dad. That means I'm not going to let you treat me like a kid anymore either. Still lack understanding, Estelle. You can only become a junior bracer in the beginning. You know, in other words, a trainee. If you want to be treated like an adult, then you should work extra hard in your training to become a full-fledged bracer. I'm not afraid of a little hard work. Just you watch and see what I'm capable of, Dad. I'll be so successful that it won't be long before I pass you too. That's the spirit. Let's see what you're made of then, shall we? Let's not start a rivalry here, you two. And Estelle, keep your focus up on the task at hand. We have a test later today, remember? Huh? Wait, what test? Please tell me that you didn't forget about the test, Estelle. You know, the one that checks whether or not we'll master the skills we've been learning in training. Don't you remember Shara saying that if we failed, we'd be stuck with a ton of extra homework? Crap, totally forgot. Now that you mention it, I guess I kind of remember her saying something like that. Don't sweat it, I'm sure we'll manage somehow or other. I honestly don't know how you survived this long, Estelle. Your brain is like a sieve. Papa is sad. How could any child of mine end up with such a careless, over-optimistic personality? You're the one that raised me, so I definitely got it from you. That's why the two of you act so much alike, but whatever. We should probably head over to the guild soon, Estelle. Cheryl's going to be waiting there for us. Sounds like a plan. You know how crazy scary she gets when someone keeps her waiting. Oh, before I forget, it's my turn to cook dinner tonight. Is there anything in particular you like to eat, Dad? Any requests? Something I like to eat, huh? How about ruin-style scalloped fish in a balsamic vinegar sauce? What's that? I think that's a little more than Estelle's cooking skills can handle, or our stomachs. Yeah, you're right. I just want to see what kind of reaction I could get. I'll just have the usual fried fish and omelette. No need for anything fancy, but do try to make something edible. How rude, but I can't actually say it's wrong. Actually, I do have one favor to ask you before you head out. I'd like you to pick me up a copy of the Liberal News from the General Goods store. They're supposed to be getting the latest edition in today. Got it, one copy of the Liberal News from the General Goods store. If there's any money left over, you can have it as your allowance. However, that means no wasteful spending. Alright, thanks, Dad. Okay, we're heading out now. See you later, Dad. Work hard and give Sherazade my regards. Hi everybody, I'm Pafslash, and welcome to Let's Play Legend of Heroes Trails in the Sky. I know we're already like almost 7 minutes into this episode, but this game is text heavy and there's gonna be a lot of dialogue. So, but right now we have our first bit of gameplay. For your informations, I am in fact playing this on the PC, but I have a PS3 controller connected to it, which makes it a lot more better, I guess. The camera can only be rotated around like this. There's no vertical camera movement, it's fixed at an angle. But there's no problems with that, I suppose. Anyway, let's head on out. Now, I do not believe we should be getting into any battling or something of the sort on this highway right here into the town. But let's just read the sign. Bright House. And east, or north actually, Rolent. Which is actually where we're headed now, so Rolent is the town. The town that is up here, but I don't believe, no, there's no enemies here. We're not ready to do battle just yet, but anyway, welcome to Rolent. Let's see what we got. Looks like we made good time. Not too early or too late either. I just barely graduated from Sunday school. I never dreamed we have to study so hard to become bracers. Well, you're in luck. Today is our last day of training. Truth be told though, you're the one who signed up to be a racer in the first place, so I don't know why you'd expect to get away with any less effort. Yeah, I guess I did. Alright then, let's go get to... It can't be a Pafslash episode unless I fuck up some dialogue. Let's get to it and make it through this last hazing from Shara. It'll grade it to me. Let's go meet with Shara at the Bracer Guild over there then. So, we can meet with Shara over at the guild, but actually before we do anything else, let's head into the General Goods store and actually pick up that newspaper. Good morning, Mr. Renan. Hello there, Estelle and Joshua, a random NPC here early today. Did you come to buy a new pair of shoes? As I mentioned, are there any new ones in stock? You know, like the new Stragas? Unbelievable, you actually forgotten why we came in here to begin with. You're not here to shop, we're supposed to be buying a copy of the Liberal News for Dad, right? Ha, of course! You've always been a collector of those shoes, haven't you, Estelle? I'm afraid that the new Stragas aren't out yet. If you're after the latest issue of the Liberal News, though, I should have them in around noon. Oh, actually, that's in the middle of the training. Okay, so it seems they don't have the newspaper. I was hoping. For the record, I've only played through the game once before, and it was quite recently, so most of my memories should be fresh. But little things like that. First time through, I actually almost forgot the newspaper until it was after this, until it reminded me after the training was done. So I was hoping I could get that out of the way early, but it seems I cannot. Anyway, hola hola. There you two are. Good morning, Estelle. Good morning, Joshua. Morning, Aina. Good morning. Is Shara here already? Yeah, she's waiting for you upstairs. Once you finish today's training, you'll finally be recognized as members of the Bracer Guild. Oh fuck, my cat wants in. There's a thing, I usually try to record when no one's home, but then my attention-sick cat just needs some attention, and she comes on the door. Okay, okay, good luck to the both of you. Thanks. We'll do our best. That was the best voice acting I could pull up right there. We'll do our best. Now let's go upstairs. The Star and the Hanged Man, the Hermit and the Magician, and last of all, inversion through the Wheel of Fortune. This is a difficult combination. How should I interpret this? Good morning, Shara! Well, if it isn't Estelle and Joshua, this is a rare occasion for the both of you to show up so early. This is my last day of training. I figured, why not? I'm ready to get this show on the road and become a bracer myself. I give you credit for your enthusiasm, but I'm going to work you hard today in every way I can think of to make sure that high-spirited attitude of yours holds up. I hope you're ready. I can feel that enthusiasm dropping already. Quiet, you. Every time I teach you something, you somehow manage to forget it. This training is my way of trying to keep some of that information in your head instead of letting it dribble out your ears like it usually does. Joshua, Shara's picking on me. Don't worry, Shara. While Estelle may hate studying and rarely ever does her homework, acts rashly and is overly naive, has a tendency to stick her nose into everything. Her instincts are sharp, so I'm sure she'll pick up on how to use an ornament with some practice. Eventually. Probably. I guess there's not much I can do now except hope for the best. Hold on a sec, Joshua. Somehow I get the feeling that you weren't standing up for me. Well, that's not positive. I described all your best traits accurately. Whatever. By the way, Shara, what were you trying to predict with the tarot cards? Your face was really intent. Oh, this? I was just trying to get a vague reading about what might happen in the near future. Unfortunately, I don't seem to have been in the right mindset to interpret the cards correctly. You can read the cards? Well, that's surprising to hear. Actually, the more profound the meaning of the cards, the more difficult they become to interpret. But that's not important now. I think it's time we start your final training. I'll give you a brief rundown of all the information you covered in your previous training. This is the minimal level of knowledge that bracers should have in order to function effectively. And Estelle, make sure you pay especially close attention to what I'm going to say. Yeah. Now we can learn a little bit about things. Okay, so let's, about the Liberal Kingdom. The Kingdom of Liberal in which we live sits on the western half of the Semurian continent and abounds with nature and deep-rooted traditions. Liberal is proud to be one of the leading producers of septium on the continent and is known for its high level of technology used to develop orbments. Orbment technology has also been a key pillar of support for Liberal in protecting its independence as it has contended with neighboring nations. 10 years ago, when Liberal was invaded by the Erebonian Empire, it was the use of orbital-powered airships that saved the kingdom from defeat. Consequently, even now our relationship with the Empire is somewhat sensitive, but thanks to the Queen's political finesse, Liberal enjoys peace. About orbments. Orbments are mechanical devices which operate by using what is known as orbital energy. A variety of effects can be produced depending on the structure and the type of quartz or processed septium is installed. Although it's only been about 50 years since their invention, these devices play an integral role in all facets of life, from lights, heaters, and other everyday products to weapons, magic, and even airships. In connection, this technological reform is commonly known as the Orbital Revolution. About bracers. Bracers are investigative and combat specialists who work to protect civilians and maintain the stability of their respective regions. They aid the community in various ways, such as exterminating monsters, preventing crime, finding lost items, and escorting people and goods. The Bracer Guild, which has established branches across the continent, manages the affairs of the bracers in each region. And that is all. Let's see, since we got a mountain of stuff to do today, I'll let you off the hook this time with a condensed review. I'm going to speed things up now and move on to the practical portion of your training. Shara, how is today's practical training any different from the training you've done before? Well, this is practical, that means you will be experiencing things firsthand. Therefore, I'm going to have both of you run through everything as if this were a real bracer job. So what you're saying is, there won't be any studying at desk involved? Yes, that's exactly what I'm saying. This time, you'll have to go out and make a physical effort to accomplish your task. I'll make sure to have you work up a sweat, so I hope you're ready. Yes, and that's seriously what the doctor ordered. I didn't know I was going to do if I had to sit another day with my tush parked at the desk. I guess I got all worried for nothing. Well, suddenly you're all bright and cheerful, Estelle. Let's just hope that smile on your face lasts until the end of today's training. Okay, let's get cracking on your first objective, shall we? Let's have at it! Your first objective will be to confirm the details of the job you will be performing. But before that, there's something that we need to give the both of you. Aina, are they ready? Yes, they are. What you do? Go get one for each of yourselves. Okay, what you got for us, Aina? It's very important, so make sure not to lose them. Bracer Notebook. Bracer Notebook serves as the official way to record the status of your current jobs. Also, anything you may hear or anything you may find and where, these kinds of trivial things can often become clues. No matter how insignificant something may seem, always write it down. Understood. Crap, sounds like it's gonna be pain. Oh? Please tell me it was my ears playing tricks on me, because I swear I only got one response. I'm sure there were two. Keeping an accurate account of events is an important duty for all bracers, so get with the program and stop trying to make this out to be more than it really is, Estelle. Okay, I got it. Make sure you do. Alright, let's begin. Look over by the door. You can see that there's a bulletin board standing there. First I want you to go and check the job description posted there. Yep. So let's check the bulletin board. Now this is actually... Now this is... Through the course of the adventure, we can keep checking the bulletin board for various side quests and rewards on each side quest and what stuff. But anyway, here we got training retrieval. Let's see, Klein Charizard and 500-meter pay. This training will involve searching the sewers beneath Roll End and bringing back the contents of a chest. See Charizard for details. Okay. This is also recorded in the notebook. Very good. Looks like you were able to see what was posted without any trouble. Checking the bulletin board is one of the most basic functions a bracer performs on the job. Checking regularly to see whether or not there are any urgent tasks which need immediate attention is also an important duty for bracers. And let's talk about duties starting to cramp my style. Sure, there are a lot of rules to follow, but there's an equal level of responsibility in their jobs themselves. I think being a bracer calls for much more than someone with a half-hearted attitude. I guess you're right. I just have to be more motivated. Had a change of heart, have you? You betcha! Well, before all that motivation sneaks off somewhere, let's get to your work on the next task. What will we be doing this time? We'll be heading across the street to Mr. Melder's Orbital Factory and learning about how to use its services. He has graciously taken time out of his work schedule to explain things, so make sure to be on your best behavior. Okay. Here is where you will learn how to use an Orbital Factory services. In Orbital Factory, you can modify your orbments and synthesize support quads in order to use Orbital Arts. Arts have a wide range of effects, and if mastered, can be extremely helpful. The bracer business is a pretty risky occupation, so the guild has had a long-standing relationship with these Orbital Factories. Anyway, this is about as much as I can explain. I'll leave the technical details to the expert. So, Mr. Melders, if you wouldn't mind taking over from here?
No problem, leave everything to me. Old man voice activated. So what is it you want to know, like you would like to know about?
Here you can learn about even more stuff. Orbments. Orbments are mechanical devices which exhibit an array of effects to the installation of various types of quartz. By definition, that means that lights, airship engines, and so on are all types of orbments. However, the ones we will be discussing today are battle orbments, which enhance the user's physical abilities and make it possible to use magic. Since each orbment is adjusted to match the owner's personal aptitude, the structures for these devices also differ for each owner. Simply put, the shape of the fixed elemental slots and lines which connect them vary. At any rate, that's the layman's explanation. In order to install quartz, you must first have an open slot. By default, the central slot is open, but the other slot must be open at an orbital factory like this. It'll take a fair amount of seconds too. EP, which is in for magic, will also see a max increase according to the number of open slots. Recommend opening them all as soon as possible. So what is it? Now we have already passed the 20-minute mark for this episode, so I am actually going to leave. and most of the other things I will personally explain in detail as they become relevant. Mr. Miller, yeah, if there's nothing else, so let's have you both try to use the services here. For that you're going to need some Sepith. We received Sepith. With that amount, you two should be able to synthesize a few quartz. Now, I want you to begin by first making an elemental quartz that will work with each of your particular organs. In your case, Estelle, any elemental quartz is okay, but for you, Joshua, it has to be a time elemental quartz. Normally at a shop you would be able to experience Sepith from Mira, but for this training you will not be able to use this service. Yes, okay, we're actually going to end this episode off here, right now. And in the next episode we'll continue right where we left off. So thank you guys so much for watching. Next episode, goodbye, see you then, take care, what the fuck.